Good evening everyone and welcome to TT_Project Cars. This is Season 4, Round 6 of the Racing Roulette at Zhuhai International Circuit in China, in the Guangdong region of China. And I am here to take you through the action once again. James Head 14 commentating for the Racing Roulette this week. We do have the touring cars, and I'll just give you a little bit of a look into the touring cars before we start. I have been a little bit tardy in starting the stream, just slightly later than normal. But I'm here, that's the main important thing with all of this. And of course, we do have three touring cars, in fact, that the drivers can choose from. The 320TC, which is the BMW, which is the fastest car from 0 to 100. Mercedes, and the Megane Touring, the Renault Megane, of course. And I'm looking forward to commentating on the touring cars, one of my favourite disciplines here on Project Cars 2. And I can't wait for you guys to see the action out on track. Of course, 15 minutes worth of action for the Racing Roulette to begin off with, and I'm sure you guys want to see. I want to hear about the championship standings, and let's get straight into it, because Crusher Bro leads on 130 points. He can wrap up the championship here if both Alan Kay and McKinnon for you have a bit of a mare of a race. Alan Kay in second on 91 points. Crusher Bro leads on 130, just to point out. Alan Kay in second on 91. McKinnon in third on 84. Sinclair in fourth on 77. Then Andy in fifth on 63. Aguilera in sixth on 56. Charlie in seventh on 48. With Theo Daly in eighth on 44. Kevin McGinley in ninth on 16. And Sean in 10th on 11 points. And of course, we'll come on to the Formula Reynolds. After this, I will be also announcing something very, very, very important at the end of the Formula Renault stream. You guys might have seen it in the chat, but for those of you who haven't, you're going to have to wait until the end of the stream. Don't go bother checking your PS messages, because it'll all be revealed at the end of the Formula Renault stream. Something very exciting to come with our future. And of course, we are at Zhuhai here. A very tricky pit lane, I've got to admit, here. 14 turns for the drivers from full. The track map will come up on your screens very soon indeed, once the session gets underway. But it is quite a technical track. I've had the privilege of commentating around this track quite a few times for Gavra Racing, especially in the Gavra Academy. And this track always brings up a real race. The first sector especially, coming out of turns 4 and 5, the left-hander, a little bit of a chicane moment, if you like, that can really catch people out. If you take too much curb through there, it can really catch people out. By the way, we do have a new driver, which I'll come on to in just a second. There is the track, 2.68 mile in length, 14 turns, it's overcast here, light cloud, no chance of rain, I've been told, coming into tonight, which is fantastic, of course, for the drivers. Let's have a look at everyone in the chat. Kieran McGinley saying not looking forward to tonight, but good evening to you, Kieran. Anyways, you'll still absolutely have us for breakfast, Crusher, he also says. Sort of 3 laps of practice, he says. Well, if he can continue up the thingy, I probably, and McKinnon for you just coming in and saying I sound very sexy tonight. I do not sound sexy at all. I do have a bit of a sore throat. You're going to have to cope with me maybe coughing and spluttering a little bit over the stream, so I will apologise in that in due course. And our new driver is on top, Mia Orwoff. I'm just gonna call her Mia. Good evening and welcome to Project Cars 2 for the new driver. Of course, we will be seeing him out on track along with the 9 other drivers that are here. Theo Daly in second, Aguilera third, Alan Kay fourth, Vic Mill fifth, McKinnon for you in sixth, Andy seventh, Sinclair in eighth, Kevin McGinley ninth, and Crusher Bro's going to do it all the way from the back. A possible last to first challenge here tonight for Crusher Bro. Can he get a good start? Of course, Andy took one of the Formula Renault races last week after damage to Crusher Bro early on at the exit of Turn 1 at Circuit of the Americas. And we will, of course, review what happened last week in due course. There has been a few changes. You might not see Molly Matt and the other Italian driver that his name escapes me at the minute. Both have left the league because of their driving last week. We do not tolerate bad driving out on track, and the accumulation of penalty points was, and our decision, the steward's decision, was to ensure that they played no further part within the league, and we do of course wish both of them well in the future endeavours. We're going to get going though for 15 minutes worth of action in the touring cars. Racing Roulette about to begin. Right down, away we go. Very good start from everyone off the line. Crusherbro gets a very good start in the BMW on the run down towards turn onto the Renault of Mia Owoff, who leads the way. Roulette up to second. Cleo Daly dropping down into third. Everyone going to be careful under the brakes here. We're right on board further down the field. Everyone looking quite cautious and quite nicely through, all clean. Roulette has just had a little bit of contact on the rear end as they come through turn 3, and towards the end of the first sector for the first time it's Mia Owoff who leads the way in his first ever race, doing a good job so far, and has pretty much got them on the stretch early. 8/10 of a second I would make that out as. Patrick Hayden just catching people out in the background. Kieran McGinley just going for a little bit of a sideways moment. 4.3 seconds separating the whole field, and Mia Owoff now down into the second sector. Crusherbro right around the outside. That is Theo Daly's been contact. Not sure who was caught up in that. Alan Kay's been caught up in that. Vic Mill has been caught up in that as well. McKinder for you is the other one that has been caught up in that contact. I think it was all as a result of Theo Daly possibly going up the inside of Crusherbro, and then contact was made possibly. Theo Daly in fact is in second, so excuse me about that, it was somebody else. Mia Owoff though leads the way, 3/10 of a second as they come down through this middle sector for the first time. Andy is up to third in the meantime, with Sinclair in fourth. There's a bit of a moment in the background of shot. That is Vic Mill that is round. I think he applied a bit too much power off the curb and has spun in the background of shot. So the pole is round and he's down into 10th position at this moment in time. But Theo Daly right on the back of the newbie, Mia Owoff, and these two pulling away nicely. 1.8 seconds between himself, between the top two and Andy in third position. These touring cars very, very nice to handle, I've got to admit. Sinclair across the line in fourth. So at the end of lap 1, Mia Owoff leads the way. A little bit of a sideways movement there from I think that might have been Alan Kay in the background of shot. Theo Daly right on the back just slides out of turn 1. It is a double right-hander at turns 1 and 2, and can catch the drivers out, especially on the back end. Mia Owoff leads the way. Theo Daly, Andy, Sinclair, and then Crusherbro pulling out the top 5. Kim McGinley is up at the 6th. Few mistakes, and that contact really costing quite a few drivers on that first lap. Roulette and McGinder for you. Alan Kay, who is just catching the back end through there, and Vic Mill running right round at the back of the field. And Theo Daly is under pressure now from Andy for second position. Side on the Mercedes, the inside line taken by the Renault driver, and Andy gets the move done. And speaking of 2 for 1, Sinclair has also done the deed. Up the inside he goes, and Sinclair currently in third position, but Theo Daly, I have a feeling, is going to battle back down the inside. Much later on the brakes, he will run very deep into the corner, catches the grass. Oh, and Crusherbro! Crusherbro, wrong place at the wrong time, gets hit by a spinning Theo Daly. Nothing really could have been done about that. No avoidance could have been taken. If he avoided that, then I would have given him a 5 straight up. But Crusherbro has got damage, I think, on the right-hand side of his car, on the left-hand side, sorry, of his car. Kim McGinley now chases after the contact. So major drama for the championship leader in the Racing Roulette. Crusherbro having contact with Theo Daly. I'm going to mark that down as a racing incident though, because I don't think anything really could have been done that, and hardly any avoiding action could be taken. Fastest lap from Mia Owoff. Andy actually set the fastest lap, and in the background, Crusherbro is round. Crusherbro is round. 3 laps of practice coming back to haunt him here in the Racing Roulette. That is Alan Kay without a front bumper just going through shot as well. Battle for 6th. Roulette up at the inside of Kieran McGinley. Gets the move done. Very nice stuff there by the Spaniard, and Roulette up to 5th place. Makes it look very easy indeed. Vic Mill leaving the session after picking up a penalty and has retired from the race. He could have continued and pick up points like anybody who's got a little bit of common sense could do that. Roulette though in 5th position. Kieran McGinley in 6th. McKinder for you right on the back as well in 7th position, and McKinder is right on the back in that Renault Megane compared to the BMW. Of course, this is the touring car, so you're watching. There is a battle for the lead. McKinder for you launches up the inside of Kieran McGinley though, and has got the car stopped and has got the car parked beautifully on the apex. McKinder for you up to 6th position. Back and forth with the battle for the lead. Mia Owoff leads the way and is doing a great job on his debut. leading the way from Andy in second. The two Scotsmen are chasing him behind because Sinclair is in third. Crusher Bro now fourth, beginning to close in on these guys. Aguilera fifth, McKinley sixth, McGinley seventh, and Alan Kay in eighth. And Theo Daly is down in that ninth position. Sorry, Theo Daly is down in fourth position. Crusher Bro is in ninth position, just to rectify my mistake there. Theo Daly is in fourth and trying to hunt them down. Crusher Bro is in ninth. Right down the back, of course, he had that moment at the final corner. A bit of a sideways moment there from Mia Olwoff. As we are 5 minutes through, Mia Olwoff leads the way. I have a feeling Andy is going to set the fastest lap the rest. He comes across the line once again. He is 9/10 off. Fastest final sector there from Sinclair. He's only 1.2 seconds off. As they come down into turn one, there are battles beginning to happen further down the field. Crusher Bro has picked up a penalty for track limits. The Racing Roulette coming back to haunt him. Hopefully he can do better in the Formula Renaults. But the two Scotsmen getting on with things as Mia Olwoff has been chased down by Andy. This really will give Andy a bit of confidence, with Crusher Bro now not scoring as many points as many would have hoped, including me. Andy has got the real bit between himself here, and he's hopefully going to be taking the fight to Crusher Bro towards the end of the season. So obviously 2 races to go as Mia Olwoff has completely locked up the front end there and has gone off track through the hairpin. That was at turn 7, I do believe that might have been at. It was at turn 7. Through the kink at turn 8. And Mia Olwoff is down to third and has given the two Scotsmen first and second. Andy up to first with Sinclair now in second. Mia Olwoff third. Theo Daly being hunted down now by Aguilera. I was just going to come on to this battle actually, because Aguilera and McKinley were quite compact. They were quite close together. Aguilera, the Spaniard, right on the back of the Theo Daly. We'll say the Crusher Bro. He's down in 8th, and King McGinley is round in the background. He will just get off track and recover that car. He has recovered, but there's Alan Kay going through, and he's down into last position. Bit of a spin there from Kieran in the background of shot. These cars are very hard to handle if you haven't had the practice in coming into tonight, and it is really beginning to pay for some of these drivers, especially Crusher Bro and Kieran McGinley just dropping the back end there. Aguilera has a nice start at the final corners, right on the back of Theo Daly. We're on to lap 5 already, and Andy leads the way as we are pretty much through the halfway stage here in Racing Roulette. If you're just tuning in, I'm James Head 14, your commentator, and you've missed quite a lot already because Andy leads the way. Sinclair in second. Mia Olwoff was in the lead, but now has dropped down to third position after a mistake. McKinley is now into fourth, as I think Theo Daly might have had a bit of a moment because he's dropped down to 6th. So Theo Daly, who was in 4th, has dropped down to 6th. Aguilera is now ahead of him. Have a feeling he's probably lost the back end. Speaking of losing the back end, Aguilera having a wild half spin coming out of the turn 4 and 5 chicane. Theo Daly is in 6th. Crusher Bro is in 7th, now ahead of Alan Kay, and is beginning to try and make inroads on these guys. Have a feeling it's going to be too little too late for Crusher Bro, as Alan Kay is round in the background, just again applying a bit too much power. That back end really does step out on these cars, and the Mercedes especially, and he's got more damage to that car. Have a feeling it's only substantial damage to the front rather than any suspension damage. That is actually quite good, hopefully. But Andy leads the way, 6.5 minutes to go, and Andy does lead the way, the Scotsman, from Sinclair in second. Mia Olwoff is in third. McKinley fourth. Aguilera fifth. Theo Daly in 6th. Crusher Bro in 7th. King McGinley in 8th now as a result of Alan Kay's mistake. And as I keep alluding to, quite a few of these drivers have probably really practiced their heart out, but they aren't really expecting some of the conditions that these cars can actually throw up out on track. It's real difficult to handle these cars. You do have to have a bit of a touch and a bit of speciality for the touring cars here, and these guys doing really well, I've got to say. McKinley has picked up a time penalty for track limits extension. That should be a second penalty. We'll go on board with the timing screen. Yeah, second for McKinley and 2 seconds actually for Crusher Bro. So Crusher Bro has got a 2:10 penalty. Alan Kay, by the way, had his lap time invalidated as into the pits actually after his spin, so he must have picked up more damage than what it actually looks like out on the track. But we'll focus currently on board with the battle for the lead. I'm very curious as to see how Crusher Bro is probably going to get on as we come towards the end of this race as well. but Andy leads the way. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Got 1.4 second lead, and that gap has really stabilised. The Renault driver doing a good job, and Andy, who has really missed out on some big point scores this season at Racing Roulette, finally getting a good run of form after winning last week in Formula Renault, giving him the confidence to come into tonight. He's already 3/10 up in that middle sector as well. That's the fastest middle sector, 39.927 through that middle sector. And now with 5 minutes to go, is really beginning to put the hammer down and put Sinclair actually under a bit of pressure. The gap has extended to 1.6 seconds. Mia Olaf is now beginning to try and close in as well. Only a second off Sinclair. The title line to actually take around this track is to come into the final corner once again, and Mia Olaf has now got a time limit, a time penalty for track limit extension. That is a 2-second penalty for Mia Olaf. New fastest lap of the race set by Andy. That is Alan Kay just coming out, and he's going to let the front three through here. So the Irishman lets everyone through. Good sportsmanship shown. That's what we're known for here, of course, in Project Cars. Andy leading the way by around 1.6 seconds. We're cut on board though with this potential battle for 6th and 7th now developing. It is between Theo Daly and Crusher Bro. Crusher Bro last time around 2 seconds quicker than Theo Daly in terms of the lap times, and he is only 3 seconds off, but knowing Crusher Bro's pace, he will probably be on top of him right by the end of this lap, I would imagine. So he tries to close in the Norwegian. Of course, losing that race to Andy and having that contact at Formula Renault before coming back to win the second race last week. Really giving him a little bit of confidence. He's all out of shape just over the curve there through turn 4. Mia Olaf, in the meantime, is on the back of Sinclair with only about a second separating. Sinclair just locks up slightly, goes a little bit wide. Mia Olaf's opportunity to get through, and he does. Mia Olaf takes it by the scruff of the neck. He is through up into second place. Sinclair just locking up a little bit too much, and the Scotsman pays dividends for his mistake. And now Mia Olaf is back into second place. You never know, things could still change. Andy Lull looking comfortable out in front, 2.8 seconds. The advantage though for Sinclair at the moment. Mia Olaf now ahead, has got that 2-second penalty. It will be added on to his time at the end of the race. So Sinclair is now on the back of him, and essentially only just has to stay within 2 seconds of him to gain that position back. There's only a 2-second buffer. Ooh, McKinnon for you. Sorry, Alan Kay, sorry. Right in the background of shot, going a little bit waywards. Nice showboating for the camera there, I've got to admit. But Andy still leads the way, 2.7 seconds. We'll still focus on this battle for second position. Crusher Bro nearly on top of Theo Daly, as I alluded to earlier on this on the last lap. Both of them now separated by 2 seconds, and again Crusher Bro sending us quicker lap than Theo Daly, as Mia Olaf just goes a little bit wide up the turn 5 chicane. Turn 4 and 5 chicane that is, now through turn 6, this flat right-hander. Very nice flowing track here in Zhuhai, in the Guangdong region, of course, of China. And Sinclair looks to the outside line. Mia Olaf takes the deeper line, goes a little bit too deep though, but holds on to that second position, as Sinclair didn't really manage to get the run off the corner. We'll focus back on board with this battle for 6th. It will be the final lap, by the way, next time around, because Andy will be coming across the line to start what will be the final lap with only a minute and 43 seconds to go. Probably be about a minute when he comes across the line, and that will be between the end of the race. Crusher Bro right on the back of Theo Daly, as I just spilled my drink nearly all over me. Goodness me, my new coaster coming off and nearly spilling all over me. Goodness me. Andy leads the way, 3.4 seconds. Mia Olaf second, with Sinclair doing a good job in third. 1.5 seconds though separating Crusher Bro and Theo Daly. Mercedes taking on what looks like the Opel actually in this car. The Opel Astra. This is the Australian make, of course, from the Vauxhall Astras we're used to here in the UK. Opel actually a really good and historic make, sold in more Western countries, of course, like Australia, more known for, especially in Australia. But Crusher Bro in the meantime is only a second off. Andy though leads onto the final lap of the race. Mia Olaf is second. Sinclair is just dropping off a little bit now. A full second separating, and I tell you what, might not be over and done with just yet. We'll have to see how this really pans out. McKinnon was in fourth as well, Aguilera in fifth, Theo Daly in 6th. We'll go on board though with Crusher Bro, who is on the back as Alan Kay gets blue flags for getting through. We'll go on board then with Crusher Bro. Let's see his steaming inputs and let's see how he's getting on. I'd like to provide quite a few of you guys with the best possible action out on track with Crusher Bro, possibly lining up for a move here on Theo Daly. 6 to the outer line. Theo Daly runs in deep, up the inside he goes. Can he get the move done? A little bit of contact on the exit of the corner, but Crusher Bro has got that move done, and the timing screens glitch out a little bit. Ooh, a little bit of contact there between Theo Daly and Crusher Bro. I'm very aware that Andy is coming around the final corner now. Theo Daly back up the inside, gets the move back done. So Theo Daly back up into 6th, fighting with Crusher Bro. We'll come on board with that in just a moment as Andy is round the final corner to take the win here in Racing Roulette. A good run of form so far for Andy, and he takes it here in Zhuhai. Fantastic win. Dominant win, I've got to say. Mia off on his debut in 2nd, however, won't get that 2nd place because Sinclair will take that on penalties. McKinder for you will be coming across the line in 4th and will hold on to that position as long as he doesn't have excess penalties. He's only got a 2nd, so they'll stay as they are. Aguileta coming across the line in 5th. There is Theo Daly and there is Crusher Bro. Pretty much nearly side by side at the final corner. Theo Daly gonna hang on from Crusher Bro across the line. Alan Kay's already come across the line in 9th as well. We're just waiting on Kieran McGinley to come across the line, and Crusher Bro maybe not too happy with the following damage that he got on that final lap. Kieran McGinley though, in the meantime, around the final corner in the BMW. He struggled a little bit tonight, made a couple of mistakes, but he's across the line in 8th and finishes ahead of Alan Kay and gets the points, which is more important than anything. It is Andy though who takes the win. Sinclair in 2nd, Mia Olworth in 3rd, McKinder for you in 4th, Aguileta in 5th, Theo Daly in 6th, Crusher Bro in 7th, Kieran McGinley in 8th, and Alan Kay filling out the top 9 positions. Of course, we had Vic Mill Racing. He did leave. He doesn't pick up the points. Everyone though does here in Racing Roulette, and I will be back on the stream very shortly indeed. We're going to set the new one up. Thank you very much for watching the Racing Roulette, and until about 2 minutes time for the Formula Reynolds, goodbye.